Our weekly look now at education in Idaho and whether it's making the grade. Idaho high schools connected to the state's high-speed internet system are caught in the middle of a legal battle.
So the state has asked a judge to reconsider a ruling to void the Idaho Education Network contract. Idaho Education News reporter Kevin Richert and I break it down. We are with Kevin for a Making the Grade post-elections, both of us taking a big sigh of relief. Let's talk about the Idaho Education Network. This is the broadband issue to high schools, and there has been so much in the works over the last couple of weeks with this in the court system. For people who don't understand, what is IEN and what's happened in the courts?
Okay. Idaho Education Network is a broadband system that connects all of Idaho's high schools, basically 219 high schools, to each other, and allows schools to share classes, to share curriculum. A teacher in one school can teach to students in a bunch of other schools. It allows students to take dual credit or college level courses. So it's opened up a lot of curriculum options that would not otherwise be available.
Especially for rural schools.
Especially in rural schools. This is a really big deal in rural schools. I don't think anybody is criticizing the network itself or the need for the broadband, but this has been a long legal struggle for the past 5 years over the contract, over the way the contract was structured, the way it was let out, the way it's unfolded. So to backtrack, since we haven't talked about this in the past couple of weeks, a week ago Monday, a district judge basically threw out the contract. He said that when one of the companies was cut out of the contract, Syringa Networks, when they were cut out, that basically voided the whole contract. So you can't repair the contract, it is just unsalvageable. So he said, you don't have a contract.
Well, and we should back up a little bit more. Syringa Networks sued after the state, about a month into the contract, and we're talking 5 years ago into this contract, kind of just let them go and went with
That's been
two
their
other
contention
providers.
all along, is that they were cut out of the deal illegally. And this has unfolded through the courts, through the state Supreme Court, back into district court. And then, like I say, it's been a 5-year legal struggle.
And now the judge has sided with Syringa Networks, which leads us to today, where the state's saying, whoa, 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 if you throw out the contract, what happens to all the kids who are now involved in the IEN? And what's going on with the state now? Okay,
so the state filed a motion, actually they did it on Tuesday. We wrote the story about it today. They're basically going back to the judge to say, for the judge to either clarify what he said a week ago or to reconsider what he said a week ago. They either want to find out, now, did the judge really mean that there's no contract? Because if there is, we have really no mechanism for this project going forward. Or would the judge reconsider his ruling? So we don't know where that's going to go and how long that may play out in the courts. You know, there's still the option down the road for the state to maybe try to kick this back to the Supreme Court. So the legal ramifications are still very far-reaching and still very uncertain.
And a huge mess. But let's get it back down to our students, our high schoolers. Where do they stand? Are they going to have broadband? Are they going to have this IEN? Some schools in the rural areas have been saying, whoa, if you take this away, we may have kids who can't even graduate.
Right. That's you're starting to hear schools expressing that concern. I don't know what happens with the network, and part of it too plays out in just a little bit under 2 months when the legislature comes to town, because they may be asked to have to come up with a lot more money to keep this system online. Remember, they had to bail this thing out to the tune of $11 million last year because of the mess over the contract. They may be asked to come up with another $11 million or so to keep this system online into the summer of 2016. And that means it comes from your pocketbook, my pocketbook, and basically means people are paying twice, because a lot of the money for this network should be coming through the federal government from a surcharge that we all pay on our phone bills, our cell phone bills, our landline bills. Well, that money's on hold because the contract is in the air. So the state is having to pick up the slack and pay the difference.
Huge mess, needless to say.
Yes.
I am so glad Idaho Education News is following the Idaho Education Network debacle, and we will continue to do so. If you'd like to read more about it, just go to idahoednews.org. Kevin, thanks for bringing us up to speed, and we'll continue talking about it right here on Making the Grade.
Thank you.